Anyway, OnlyFans is destroying society. You know what else is destroying society? Me. I'm doing it. I'm part of the problem.
Okay, let me get something out of the way here right at the start. The statement, OnlyFans is destroying society, is not a brave thing to say. It's not even an unexpected thing to say. I'm pretty sure deep down, any reasonable person already understands that a platform like this gaining widespread adoption is universally a bad thing. But after a recent development came across my feed, namely a lawsuit against OnlyFans, I want to try and provide a data-driven argument for why.
I also think social media is destroying society. I would say a broader blanket statement is that social media is, because OnlyFans and a Fansly and all that stuff wouldn't be available or as widely distributed if social media didn't exist. Because, like, realistically, who's, like, typing in OnlyFans girls' boobies, looking them up, whereas you see a post on Twitter, or you see a hot chick on Twitch, and then you go into their socials and are like, oh my god, I want to see her boobies. Yeah, I think it's like there's a broader picture that social media was a mistake.
OnlyFans as a
Can you turn it up? Oh, sorry, yeah, sorry.
Platform is quite literally destroying the fabric of modern society across multiple separate social dimensions. I'll start with this. Background. OnlyFans, a subscription membership platform that almost exclusively caters to adult content, was officially created in 2016 as a...
Where's the men, man? Why is there no Fansly for men?
Subsidiary of Phoenix International Limited. Now, at first, the platform was relatively unknown. From 2016 to 2019, the website amassed a mere 300,000 creators, and by creators, I mean mostly women posting explicit content for money.
Women.
However, in
the root of all
2020,
problems.
Possibly as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, OnlyFans...
Oh, it was a massive influence, absolutely. I knew people talked about... Like, I knew about OnlyFans because there were content creators, a lot of them, including Mr. Asmonbold, who dated a OnlyFans creator. Yeah, and this was before the pandemic. So, like, I knew about OnlyFans before that.
Began witnessing unprecedented user growth to the tune of millions. In just 1 year, the platform gained something like 1.3 million new creators.
Holy!
From 2020 through 2023, which is the latest year that we have official figures from, the platform would go on to amass over 4.1 million users. I should be clear, when I say 4.1 million users, I mean creators. When we talk about subscribers to the platform, the number is more like 350 million. But for right now, I want to focus on the
350 million, what? What?
Creator side of things. 4.1 million different creators. And that's 2023. If you continue the previous growth rate here in 2025, that number is more like 5 to 6 million creators or thereabouts. But focusing on the figures that we actually have, which is understating the problem by a pretty hefty margin, to be crystal clear on that, of those 4.1 million, according to GitNux, 84% were female with an average age of 29 years old.
Wait, that's actually pretty old. I thought the average age would have been like 22 or 23. Really? 29? Huh. I'm actually kind of surprised. I genuinely thought it was way younger. That's average!
Here's the thing. This is where we have to do a little bit of guesswork, or maybe estimation is a better word for it. But I'll show the large...
Maybe median would be lower. I don't know. Mills? You really think there's like old ladies that like bring up the date? Yeah.
Every single step of the way, and
you think
the results
so?
kind of speak for themselves. The overwhelming majority of revenue from OnlyFans goes to the United States. I'm talking over 2/3 of all revenue that the platform ever processes coming from or going to the United States.
America #1, baby! Let's go! Woo!
And if we extrapolate that to the broader creator market,
USA,
we can estimate roughly 2.7 million total creators.
That's actually kind of impressive that Europe and United Kingdom isn't that high, whereas rest of the world... Like, United Kingdom and Europe, what does that entail? Like the EU, or is it not? Biggest non-flex? Nah, this is totally a flex. The Goonerdom! The United States of Gooning!
US. Well, knowing that 84% of OnlyFans creators, roughly speaking, are female, that would mean about 2.2 million creators averaging 29 years of age who are not just using, but selling services on OnlyFans. Pretty high number, but let me just put this in perspective.
It's a lot.
Remember, these are old figures that we're using. The numbers have more than likely increased in the time since 2023 substantially.
Absolutely.
But if you then compare that figure to the US labor market.
Have you noticed that, like, gooning has kind of exploded in the last 2 years? Genuinely, I think it has. Maybe I'm biased because, like, all I do is, like, look at VTuber, like, Twitter, but I feel like it has actually exploded. Yeah. It absolutely has. Probably because of COVID. Yeah, but wouldn't you see that during COVID there would be, like, an explosion of gooning? We just never talked about gooning as much. Yeah, but wouldn't that be a correlation with how much people are gooning?
It becomes honestly terrifying. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, specifically the Women's Bureau,
Holy.
the most common professions occupied by women in America from 1 to 5 are registered nurse.
It's actually true. I knew so many women, like, I didn't work in medical or anything, but there's so many women that, like, you walk up and touch, she's like, I'm an RN. And I'm like, damn, I know an RN. Gosh, that's so sexist. Why is it sexist? Hello,
Elementary and middle school
nurse.
teacher, managers, customer service representative,
manager,
and secretary.
Karen.
By far the largest number is registered nurses with roughly 2.2 million.
That's a lot.
Which would make OnlyFans a comparable number now to the most common female career in the entire United States.
Wait, what? Okay, but how many of them actually make a living off of it? I would love to see the actual statistics, like the ones that make comparable salary to registered nurses or above. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How many of those 2.2 mil are able to do it full time? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The oldest occupation of time.
That's already horrifying on its face, especially when you think about the fact that over the span of just 3 years, according to the stats that we currently have, an explicit adult platform managed to amass a creator market that would make it rival the most common career in the country for young women. But it gets exponentially worse, because according to the American Association of Colleges of Nurses, the median age of a registered nurse is 46 years old.
Oh yeah, old
Remember,
ladies.
OnlyFans creators average 29 years of age, and most analytic pages don't even estimate or track the number of creators.
We gotta get those old ladies into OF. That's what we should do.
We're in excess of 40 years old because it's so low. These figures hold true across other careers as well, with 60% of teachers, for example, averaging 40 plus years old. And this means that the U.S. Department of Labor figures don't actually match. Instead of 1.7 million female elementary and middle school teachers in a comparable age bracket, the number is more like 700,000. Call it a million if you want to, round up substantially. Doesn't change the fact that you are 2 times more likely to meet someone who does OnlyFans than you are to meet a teacher.
That's terrifying. Didn't Asmund say that hoflation is a thing now? One pays a lot better, to be fair. Yeah, absolutely. Why the fuck would you waste your time being a teacher, get screamed at, get paid dog shit, have a job insecurity because being a teacher is actually a pretty fucking hard job? Whereas if you are mildly attractive and you have an attractive body, why the hell would you put yourself through that? Yeah, why would you do that? It makes sense. It's like that chick that said that she dropped out of, I forget, like some sort of, did she drop out of Harvard? Harvard, yeah. And then she started doing OnlyFans and made like $2 million a year or something? Why bother? Yeah, morals of self-worth only? Yeah, pretty much. How many OnlyFans creators and teachers as well? I've seen a decent amount of articles talking about how weird it is for teachers to do OnlyFans, but at the same time, it's like, well, they wouldn't feel like they had to do OnlyFans if they didn't make dog shit money. So, it's like a conundrum. If you're a teacher and you get paid jack shit, and then you see some chick who does OnlyFans and gets paid an extra, let's say, $1,000 a month, and that makes up for, I don't know, like your kid's daycare, or I don't know, what do moms spend their fucking money on? I don't know. Whatever, like it's extra income, right? How do you freaking blame them for taking the easier option? Starbucks, purses and shit, yeah! I don't know, I've never bought like a purse like that before. I bought like a bag, not a purse. Teachers who do OF isn't an issue in my opinion, but selling it at school shit like that is fucked. I kind of disagree, because if a teacher somehow gets found out that they do OF, it ruins their career. Even if it's something like, again, kids are dumb. Kids look at naughty things, at 18 plus stuff. If that something like that is found out, it ruins their life and it becomes a danger to the school. And then the school has to let them go and stuff. And it becomes a massive fucking drama.
Selling sexual content of yourself online, if it were an actual career path in the United States, which it's not, because of the extreme income stratification on OnlyFans and a variety of other revenue statistics, which is a separate problem that I'll talk about in just a minute here. Don't worry. If it were an actual career, instead of a hollow, deceptive, and manipulative money-making, quote, opportunity, unquote, which...
It's also a pyramid scheme. I'm pretty sure there's creator incentives to convert people into becoming creators, even if they don't earn any money. Yeah, it's kind of a soft pyramid scheme. To get other people into it, you get like a little bonus. And that's why there's a lot of people who also fake their success on OF and post it on social media, and then they get younger, impressionable women, or men, I guess, who get into it and think that they can make as much money as they did, or think that they did, and when in reality they can lie about it. Like, what's really stopping you? You could, like, post yourself in front of, like, a car that you rented and say, oh, look at this, I made $2 million on OF, and then you scam people into clicking your recruiter link, or like young girls, and then boom, you're getting a bonus, and you didn't do anything.
More than likely yields pennies in return. If it were, it would be the most common career by far already in the entire United States for young women, and it's not even close. Time for a disclaimer, okay? A big disclaimer. I am not trying to shame anyone. Empowerment, freedom, yada yada, don't stress, I understand. But the idea of OnlyFans as some sort of incredible financial vehicle is a verifiable myth. It turns out that as the number of total creators rises, as the revenue for the platform goes parabolic, the actual average amount of earnings for creators using the platform is going down. Matthew Ball has a really good analytical piece about it.
That makes sense, though. The average goes down. Or is this not average? Revenue per OnlyFans creator per year. Yeah, I think the average goes down, because if you're influxing more people that make less money, the statistic goes down. Whereas in 2021, it wasn't extremely oversaturated yet, and it peaked right here. Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of these different financials and figures.
Matthew Ball, what a name for like an OnlyFans like statistics maker. Mr. Ball, what do you have here? OnlyFans statistics.
It's an investment in strategic advisory service. I've referenced his data before, actually, in other videos. So you'll see graphics with his watermark here, and I'll link his website down below. But the point is, while the total number of creators has roughly doubled from 2 million to 4 million across 2021.
Here to here is insane. It actually doubled. From here to here, it's like, what, a quarter? A little bit less than a quarter, maybe. This is insane, and this is insane. And then obviously the market oversaturation also happened. This kind of also happened with VTubing as well. Yeah, definitely. If you squeezed in 2022 and you want to get in through after that, it's definitely become a lot harder to break in. Yeah.
2022 and 2023, right? Just a couple
streaming.
Years.
Yeah, I would
the
agree.
Average amount
streaming
that those creators make dropped by about 30%. The amount of money that an average OnlyFans creator will earn is less than $2,000 annually.
Wow, annually? That's like less than $100? Wait, I can't do math. Yeah, it's like less than $200 per month. Yeah.
Earnings come with every single integrated downside along with them. The fact of the matter is, selling yourself on OnlyFans can have negative implications for relationships. You can argue that it shouldn't carry those risks, and I wouldn't fault anyone for doing so. But the reality is it does. Selling yourself on OnlyFans carries downside risk for existing and future children, relationships, career prospects, and most of all, privacy. Of course. And
that's the problem. People think that there aren't consequences and that society should change. It's just how it is. I mean, way back when in the medieval times, there were prostitutes and they did do that. They had jobs like that, and there was kids that they had bastard children. I mean, I'm not comparing it a one-to-one. It's obviously not a one-to-one, but I'm just saying that it is still sex work. Like, it is modernized sex work. If someone says, I don't want you to do OF, and then, like, you find out they did OF in the past, it's up to you as a person to deem it acceptable or not. Some people might say, oh, it's okay, and, like, it's fine that you did it in the past, but some people might not, and that's okay. The video's kind of blurry. Why are you focusing on the video, not the yapping?
It's not unique in that way.
Yeah.
Plenty of other careers and money-making opportunities do as well. But there's an atmosphere circulating that OnlyFans is somehow cheating the system with enormous financial upside potential. Here's an example story right here about a number of teachers losing their jobs because the school discovered their OnlyFans pages. And
it sucks because it's not their fault. You know what they do is that the kids, like 16, 17-year-olds, let's assume it's on the higher side of like high school, they start getting curious. They start hearing about OnlyFans because they go on like Twitter and shit, or like social media in general. Their friends go into OnlyFans, look up local, and then that can lead into them being found out because that teacher might say, oh, I live in this state. They might not even say like within this town, and they can find that out really easily. It's just how it is. Kids can find out things really fast.
If the platform really offered what people think it does, millions of dollars in total personal freedom, the risk would be possibly understandable. However, it doesn't. Odds are anyone using it will make less than $200 a month while risking multitude of social pitfalls as a direct result of it. Of course, there are cases of creators making millions. Established influencers, celebrities, and other famous personalities are the most common examples. But even on the OnlyFans website, it states directly that just 3,000 creators have earned over $1 million total.
3,000 out of 4 million? And that's what's, like, they're being upfront and honest with the statistic, but stupid people don't understand that. Like, they don't understand that at all. And they don't understand how bell curves work either. Like, 3,000 people are earning 1 million, and then let's just say $200,000 to $500,000 is like, let's say imaginary number, like 10,000, 12,000 people, and then the rest are like below that, and then there's another bracket for like below 5,000. That's like a majority of like 80% of people. Are you for real? Like, you really think that you're gonna beat the statistics somehow? You have to be crazy hot at this point and do something so unique to stand out to make so much money. It's kind of the same thing as VTubing. Like, you really have to stand out to break through the mold now. Whereas if you came in early, came in early during OnlyFans, you're kind of set. Because you had a loyal fan base, and then it transitioned over to when it became oversaturated.
Real possibility of that success is obviously how the perception continues. But the creators earning these kinds of figures aren't everyday people.
Yeah,
they're
like
famous
Amaranth.
Beforehand. Their entire career before using the platform was in the public eye. And the result is that they're able to monetize in a way that a random 19-year-old girl fresh out of high school is not capable of doing.
Which is crazy to me that people are even thinking like that. Like me, if I was 18, I'd be like, I feel like I'd be smart enough to realize that this isn't like something that happens to everyone. You have to be like a ridiculously beautiful or like a supermodel or have a really fucking big old hoo-ha or like big boobies or a big ass, you know? This doesn't just happen magically at this point. Yeah, what up, Sasha? Thank you for the Raid! Yeah, what up? Hi! Skull Fox Raid. Are you a Skull Fox? Welcome, welcome. Or delusional? Well, you're 18. You're still pretty dumb. No offense to 18-year-olds, like, I was 18 too. I'm just saying that as you get older, you get experience.
Hammering this point home with the actual data, the top 10% of accounts on OnlyFans collect 73% of all the revenue.
Wow!
Which leaves the bottom 90% of creators, 9 out of every 10 people using the platform, expecting to get financial freedom, to fight over...
Yeah, it's the distribution of wealth. I mean, it's just kind of how it is.
For just 27% of the
That's
funds.
insane.
And those figures are getting...
$24 million in 3 years. All time, $57 million. What do you even do with that kind of money?
Substantially worse every single passing day. Hopefully everyone can see why this is a bad thing, but let me switch gears now and talk about subscribers to the platform. Recently, as in March of 2025, a lawsuit has been filed against OnlyFans by 2 men, alleging that while talking to women who they were subscribed to on the platform, they weren't actually talking to those women, they were talking to an agency. Now, a lot of people may have no sympathy.
Yes. I've told this story before, but when I played WoW Classic, there was a guy that was constantly bragging about being a manager / agency for a bunch of OF girls. And he told me and a couple of other people in a call once when we were doing a raid, and he said that they were talking to Brazilian men that he would hire because those girls would be sleeping or whatever, and in order to like up the what is it called? Like the uptime and like what is it called? Engagement. The engagement going up. They would hire gay Brazilian men because they would be pennies on the dollar, and then like have them message the men back while the girls are sleeping. This isn't a secret. It's literally known. I know. It's just funny to me that like this happened back in like 2020, and that guy's probably like a multimillionaire now at this point. But I'm just saying, like, it's crazy how they used to do that, and they probably still do that, except now it's with AI.
For these men, they should have known. Who cares? What does it matter? Etc. Etc. But bear with me, because that's actually a cornerstone of the OnlyFans marketing technique: authentic relationships or personal experience. That's the
oh my gosh. If you think you're getting an authentic relationship by spending money on OnlyFans, or as Shibi would say, spending money on a VTuber or a streamer that you watch and think that it's an authentic relationship and they're gonna fuck you, you need someone to grab you by the shoulders and fucking shake you. You need to stop. Get a grip.
The language that they use. But reality is a very different creature.
Yeah, obviously.
See, rather than talking to a popular creator on the platform, subscribers are far more likely to be talking to someone at a specialized agency, such as ofagency.co. There's many of them. This is just one example. According to Amir Kamal, who founded the company, creators can make upwards of 50 or 60% of their entire revenue stream from these direct messages.
Yeah.
But instead of actually doing it themselves...
Yeah, because every message costs like 10 cents. This is the same thing as when old people, I remember there would be like movies talking about men calling sex lines, and those women get on the phone and they're taught a script to basically get them to pay more money as time goes on, and they don't like, you know, they don't like immediately engage in the sexiness and like what gets people off, right? They make the call drag out so they can get more money out of them. And it's the same principle. Like the girl or whatever, the messaging back is like 5 cents per minute per message, right? But you end up spending like $5 a day or more every time you want to go message these chicks.
No. They
it's
hire
crazy.
some guy across the world. This is subjectively kind of funny. People subscribe to a model. They think that they're talking to her directly, and instead it's some random
we also have chatters from India and the Philippines.
guy in Pakistan. But if you start connecting some of the dots, it gets a whole lot more sinister.
I am so horny right now. Oh my god. It's like 4 a.m. in Miami, Florida. I better go message this chick. And then the person responds. It's like, It's some Filipino or some Indian guy just like responding to you and being like, yes, I am her.
Very quickly. It's actually not just human operators and third-party agencies. No. It's also AI chatbots. There's a bunch of them, each with their own unique spin or different levels of automation in tow. But I want to read a segment from Vice News, an article in 2024, which outlines the problem very well. Quote, many creators are enthusiastic about these AI tools. Eden, a former OnlyFans creator who now runs a talent agency, is an avid user of Super Creators AI.
Amaranth also did this. When she opened up her, Super AI of Amaranth, she said she made $30,000 in one day. She was open about it. She didn't lie and say, like, oh, it's me messaging you. She literally said, it's an AI that I made or paid someone to make, and it's not me, and we're gonna launch it today, and then boom, it made $30,000 overnight. Yeah, she sold her farts too, weirdos. I don't think Amaranth sold her farts. I think that was someone else. No, she sold something else. I think she sold her beer, pussy beer, or whatever. No, it was her. No, hold on. Amaranth sells her farts. Oh, never mind. You're right. Okay, I thought it was someone else. I thought it was another one. Yeah. I'm thinking of the woman that sold her farts, which wasn't Amaranth, but she farted so much she ended up in the hospital because she farted so much, and you're not supposed to do that. No, it wasn't Amaranth that did that, but it was... Yeah, that's another one.
Claiming that it has significantly boosted sales.
Yeah, she blew out her asshole or something, I don't know.
Lucrative fans. The AI's ability to scan for inactive users and automatically initiate conversations has led to impressive results.
That's actually evil. Do you know what other what is it called? Do you know what other thing does that? Mobile push notifications. You know, like you're playing, I don't know, fucking Genshin Fart Pact or Zenless Zone Fart, and they ping you and are like, hey, you didn't log in for your dailies. Do you want to log in? And then you're like, oh shit, I haven't played this game in like a fucking 24 hours. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, this happens all the time.
Such as a $1,000 tip sparked by an AI-generated message.
Oh,
However,
shit.
Eden emphasizes that creators should still personalize the interaction using AI-generated content as a starting point rather than fully automating the process.
Yeah, but why bother? You can just make more money and, like, not get off your ass. Yeah.
That's already a little bit strange, targeting their most lucrative fans, language and rhetoric like that. But we also have to remember that none of this is happening in a vacuum. It may seem unrelated, although it's definitely not, but something that vocal AI critics have been warning about, myself included, even something that fans of AI have acknowledged openly as well, is that long before general artificial intelligence is ever achieved, something called superhuman persuasion will become possible.
Can I get superhuman persuasion to get people to come to stream? Holy shit! Holy!
In simple terms, even if a large language model isn't actually sentient at all, it will still be able to persuade people, especially vulnerable or lonely people, which is the precise demographic that we're talking about here, to think and act in a certain way as a result of its programming, beyond the capability of an average person. That may sound like some sort of dystopian sci-fi novel, but it's a lot closer than people may think, and the applications for that kind of persuasion are almost infinite. Everything from what we're talking about today, OnlyFans, all the way to politics. Well, knowing that OnlyFans and top OnlyFans creators are now using AI chatbots actively to target their most lucrative fans, with substantial results given as anecdotal examples in the Vice article, let's look at the actual revenue figures. From 2021 to 2023, the same years in which the average amount that OnlyFans creators were making dramatically decreased, by the way, while the total number of creators on the platform doubled.
Wait, go back. Subscription recurring, one-off transaction. Wow, it's almost like 50-50, dude. Yeah, like recurring and one-off is 50-50 almost. That's wild.
Dramatically decreased, by the way, while the total number of creators on the platform doubled. From 2021 to 2023, The source of revenue for OnlyFans also changed. Recurrent subscription revenue remained pretty much exactly the same. It actually went down as a percentage of overall revenue in that time frame. But one-off payments substantially increased. To be clear, one-off payments means something like a $1,000 tip, by the way, from a...
I gooned to you! My lady, can I give you $1,000 as a one-off payment? Oh my god, I'm dead, man. I'm dead. No, that's actually, like, something people feel obligated to do, almost. Like, you goon to, like, some chick, and then they're like, oh my gosh, I better give her, like, $1,000. I feel kind of bad.
Lucrative fan that was identified and targeted by a chatbot. Sound familiar? Basically, this just means that the type of revenue that is elicited from using chatbots and third-party agencies and people using direct messages is the type of revenue that's increasing, whereas subscription revenue isn't increasing. So one of them is dramatically going up and the other one is remaining stagnant, which means it's coming from somewhere. Let's do a bird's eye view. The number of creators using OnlyFans is going up, right? Substantially and constantly. Meanwhile, the amount of money that 90+% of them actually make is going down dramatically and consistently.
Well, again, this is an average, that's why.
Time, the creator...
Milady, those are some nice attributes. Here's $1,000. $500 go on a date with me? Yep. Pippa moment. Pippa moment. Milady, I will give you $500. Please say yes to me.
Who are making money are utilizing heavily third-party agencies and AI chat tools to identify and target their lucrative fans, extracting increasingly larger sums of money through fake personal interactions.
That's
meaning
wild
that more and more
to me.
men are paying more and more money under the persuasion of AI tools and third-party agencies, while they think they're talking to a tiny subset of attractive women, when in fact they're not doing so, resulting in measurable harm at every single stage of the process for everyone. Creators signing up...
And how many of those people are actually rich enough to drop like $1,000? Like, even like a month or something? That's what's scary to me, is like, you don't know what that person's going through, and that loneliness can be like abused, even if it's not intentionally, obviously.
For the platform are harmed because the impression of limitless financial freedom is a verifiable lie. Meanwhile, they onboard all of the potential risks with rapidly decreasing financial prospects in tandem. Subscribers are harmed because not only are they being targeted and potentially manipulated every day by people working for companies across the planet, pretending to be a woman that they're attracted to, but they are also at risk of being subjected to AI persuasion programs, which are obviously working quite well, else the revenue figures wouldn't be changing the way that they have been changing. And all of it, over the span of just a few years, is metastasizing like a malignant cancer. It feels like we're speedrunning the fall of decent civilization. And I understand that a YouTube video titled OnlyFans is Destroying Society can be perceived as completely hyperbolic, all right?
It's not, though. I mean, honestly, it's not. Because this all boils down to men being lonely. No, it is. It truly is. The men are the ones forking out the money. The males have money power that women usually do not. It's a lonely man's world, and OnlyFans just happened to pop up at the right place at the right time. It would have been something else. It would have been named differently. Is it really men's fault? I didn't say that. I said that the male loneliness epidemic is the reason why this is happening. Yeah.
Extreme or indefensibly outlandish. But I genuinely believe that more than almost any other platform I've ever researched, except maybe TikTok, it really is doing damage. Early in the video, I said multiple separate social dimensions, whatever that means. And now, after detailing my argument fully, I would assert that those social dimensions are trust, privacy, stability, and honestly, dignity.
You know what's scary too is that those women that openly talk about having OnlyFans, if you're a guy that wants to court a woman, for example, like in college, let's say they're both like 19 years old or whatever, and she's very open about doing OnlyFans, and the guy finds out that she has an OnlyFans, and maybe like he asked her a friend, or he asked her directly because he's like, oh, what's your like name or whatever, and she's like, oh my god, blah 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 blah, and then instead of going on a date with her, he just goes and goons to her for $5, and then he doesn't even want to date her. Let's just say that he doesn't even care that she does OnlyFans, but like, why go through the mental effort of like going to a restaurant and like freaking, I don't know, buying her like a flower? Why don't you just go and go into her freaking pictures for $5 and never talk to her again? Like like that makes sense in my head, you know? It's called a trial period. I disagree. I think it's not even a trial period. It's more like you goon and then you forget. Yeah, I think that's like way more consistent in my eyes. Like, why bother going through dating someone then? If society's gonna be more open about OnlyFans, then why bother? Why wouldn't you just go and goon? Why bother? And that's what's showing here now. Why bother going outside and meeting a girl? Why don't I just sit at the computer and goon to hentai or something?
I won't sit here and claim some sort of moral high ground on a personal level, don't worry. But if you look at the situation in context, especially considering how fast the platform is growing every day, and the trajectories of revenue, where that revenue comes from, how many creators are truly benefiting, etc. If I look at everything in context, it's difficult for me to see this platform as anything other than evil. In the end, the downside risk of using OnlyFans as both a creator and subscriber seem to be dramatically outweighing any potential benefit.
I think social media overall is evil. YouTube uses children to create revenue by making them watch ads. Cocomelon is a subset of the reason why YouTube is popular with children. Like, talk to anyone who has a child and then say the words Cocomelon and they immediately know what you're talking about. It's just different because this is sex content. Again, Pornhub is also a massive problem. They had massive scandals regarding people being abused or getting scammed, or underage people being involved in the actual content. Like, it's horrible. Like, look it up.
Because the benefit is static. It doesn't change. Actually, the benefit is going down for creators, but the risk... Except
with OnlyFans, you're less likely to have someone who's underage because they actually check your ID and, like, your social security. I would fucking hope. I have yet to hear of a scandal with OnlyFans. Like, unless they're, like, taking a fake ID, that kind of thing, and, like, passing it as their own.
Risk and potential negative ramifications are just consistently expanding with every passing day. As per the title of the video, OnlyFans is destroying Western society. That's it. If you want to support the video and projects like these, please do consider using Locals and Patreon for monthly memberships. Yay! Also a special VPN deal linked down below, big discount. Merchandise, social media, etc.
VPN bad.
I'll cut it there and stop rambling. As always, thank you all for watching. Question everything. Thank you for putting up with my sick voice. It's yet to go away over the past few days, but yeah, that's it. Have a nice night.
Bam, 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 bam. I like that. That was yapperific. That was yapperific. Fantastic video.